In the distant future of 2008, global warming has flooded the planet, and only the brave men and women of the boat police can keep order. And no, that's not the River Thames, that's Flood World. Look how flooded everything is. And Rutger Hauer is a no-nonsense cop. And he's so no-nonsense, in fact, that he doesn't even dress like a cop, he dresses like a cowboy. And he just throws his rifle into this truck because fuck it, the gun will go off when he so commands it. And then he just drives his Jeep directly into this river because Rutger don't take orders from nobody, and that includes bodies of water. Anyway, to get himself ready for his shift, he shotguns 9 cups of coffee and 4 Cuban cigars to get him on that sweet knife edge where he's so buzzed he could die at any minute, but also see round corners. Then he walks up to this nightclub and he calls this dog a dickhead.
Police, dickhead.
And this lady is like, I'm about to take a piss. Anyway, he starts freaking out over these titties. Then realizes somehow that piss lady has been murdered. And then he starts stroking a dead face. He's been drinking too much flood water. Or so the quacks would have you believe. It's just fucking water, man. And he starts yelling at everyone. And he starts yelling at this dog, asking it where the killer went. And the dog's like, oh yeah, he went that way, Rutger. So yeah, shouting at dogs and calling them names is police work, not the work of a maniac. And this actual cop is like, police, but he's like, fuck off. And yeah, this film's pretty fucking batshit. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know if he's after a ghost or a monster or a man or whatever the fuck. Anyway, this guy gives us the lowdown on why Rutger is such a crazy fuck. And he's like, oh, a serial killer killed his partner. As in his police partner, not the lame as fuck saying people use nowadays instead of boyfriend or wife. Anyway, he's a wee bit insane with guilt because he was nailing his partner's partner before he got him killed. And normally you wouldn't be allowed to keep being a cop after any of those things, but you know, we just took one look at him and thought, quick, somebody give this man a badge and a gun. And then Postlethwaite is about to get up in his business, but he just sort of mesmerizes him. And he stirs his coffee with a pen, which I've actually done at work, so that's pretty relatable. So the chief busts his balls because none of the pens in the station work, but then Rutger is like, look how nice this tie is, I want one. That's all the proof I need, you're not fucking mental. You're back on the case. Anyway, he stirs another coffee with a pen, and it turns out this fucking dweeb is his new partner. But while he was stealing cigars and ruining fountain pens, the killer walked into the middle of this bustling police station with a big fuck off cooler with a human heart in it and took a bite out of the heart. So there you go. So he's got to get into the mind of the killer, so he goes and lays about on this piss, blood and shit covered floor for a bit. And this dog is like, what you thinking about, Rutger? I know you saw who did this. I will put a dog on the stand at court. I've done it before. Fast forward and Rutger and his new partner Johnny Pencilcock respond to a report of another murder with the same MO, and his partner is like, okay, you see any clues or...
No!
I mean, he's not even trying to hide the fact he's crazy, but they do see a clue.
Looks like an astrological symbol.
No, it doesn't. And Rutger is like, what do you know about magic? Well, I'm an adult, so fuck all. I thought you went to school. There's no correlation there. Anyway, back at Rutger's pad, which is also the men's toilets at work, they're talking about the case. And he's like, so do you actually want to do some police work today instead of, I don't know, just running about screaming? I do my best work when I'm screaming. And he's not done rattling his dead partner's wife, so he brings her back to this storage shed for some sweet, definitely gonna need a tetanus jab afterwards lovemaking. Anyway, the next day his alarm goes off, which is his pigeon shitting on his head. So he has a donut and a quick drink from this ashtray, quick massage off his partner, and he's off to the races. Anyway, Rutger just casually drops that he has psychic powers and he can feel when the killer is near. Yep. But it turns out the killer is attacking some other woman downstairs, and Johnny Pencilcock gets wasted by a fucking alien, or maybe a cyborg. But he gets away, and he ate another human heart. And then this lady is like, that fucking alien bit me. But Rutger's like, don't worry about it though. And he wakes up back at the station, in a cell for some reason. And he's like, oh Johnny, you're alive. And Rutger is like, oh, by the way, the killer isn't a serial killer, he's an alien that lives in the sewers. Probably should have mentioned that to anyone. And Johnny Pencilcock is like, I'm actually more invested now that it's an alien. So they get tooled up with all these fucking made up guns a 10-year-old drew. And the chief is like, where the fuck are you going with all those guns? Oh, Rutger remembered the serial killer's an alien cyborg from the future or some bullshit. I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna go smash him up. Do you wanna come? Nah, I got a thing I gotta go do. Anyway, the creature carves up Johnny Pencilcock. And Rutger is like, oh, that's a map, that. What the fuck are you babbling about? Yeah, yeah, that's a map. I know where the monster is. And it sets some elaborate traps for him with its giant fucking hands somehow. And then it just sort of starts rubbing its bird fingers all over Rutger's face. And then it tries to grab his cock. And then they blow it up, but it don't work. And then they electrocute him, but he's like Bennett from Commando. It just makes him stronger. And then Rutger Kalimars him. And then they just shoot him. So yeah, there you go. Now you know why you never heard of this movie.